Alright, let me check to make sure that I'm coming through A-OK. Give me just a quick minute. And I'm golden. Well, this is it. The conclusion arc to the Higurashi When They Cry console arcs. I have no idea how long this is going to take. Could be an hour, could be 2, could be 5. Maybe I have to end up making this into multiple parts. I have no idea, but whatever the case may be, I am most certainly curious as to whatever it is exactly I'm going to be in for. And holy shit, it's taken me quite a while to get to this point, hasn't it? Because when did I actually start doing the console arcs exactly? I need to check now that I'm thinking about it. Because getting through the console arcs in of themselves was also quite the journey. It's not even factoring in the main story. Or Saikoroshi-hen from Higurashi When They Cry Ray. So let me see. 2 years ago, approximately. Bit more than that, more than likely. So yeah, 2 whole years just to get through the 2+ years to get through the console arcs in of themselves. Ay caramba. So, other than this, just business as usual for me, except for the fact that I'm just a lot more tired lately these days, I'm noticing. Although I suspect my day job might be contributing to that to some extent here, because I've just been having the hardest time just not being drained throughout the past few weeks here after I get off work and I do all my other obligations. So it's just been draining my motivation for a number of things. Not the least of which includes finishing editing that one episode of Lamination International, which I know I still need to finish. But I've been putting it off because I just couldn't be bothered to finish it for the past week or so. So that is, again, completely my fault. So hopefully I can kick my ass here sometime both tonight and tomorrow and just try to get that done and over with. And in other news, like I also alluded to in that community post I just posted, depending on how quickly I get through this conclusion arc, I might also throw in a Yakuza 0 stream today if this conclusion arc ends up being pretty short. Because what I want to do is I want to dedicate a full stream to Noel the Moral Fate when I finally start that, which I'm thinking about trying to do tomorrow. Metal Wolf ZX, welcome to the stream. Hope your day's going well. And yeah, the end is in sight. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I will say, though, I am actually quite excited to check out the Noel the Moral Fate, because that's something I've been wanting to start for quite some time now, because it really does look interesting. So, at least with this, well, actually, no, not with Higurashi, because I'm going to be moving back to Ray, but with... Wait, I still need to finish... Yeah, okay. I'm tired. Here's my excuse, I'm tired. My brain is a bit scrambled right now here because I'm going to be starting Noel regardless of whether I finish either this or Yakuza 0, so it's just, yeah, just ignore me. Just ignore me. Next stream is going to be for Noel the Moral Fate for sure, regardless of whatever I'm doing with Higurashi or Yakuza. And I guess I need to change the name of the stream at some point, because the actual name for this, I forgot, is called Epilogue. So, let me see. Can I pull this up real fast? Yes, perfect. Now, I want to make sure I'm being accurate with my names and all that stuff, so give me just a quick second to change a couple things around. Epilogue. And I'll put that in here too. Alright, there we go. One last reward for you brave souls who have read Matsuri Bayashi, Saikoroshi, Miyotsukushi Emote, Miyotsukushi Ura, and Korohogushi. Well, like I said, it's been a long time coming, so... Oh, we're... It's right at the start of a menu, I see. Okay. Oh... Look at this. We got some tips. Well, since I got these pulled up, let's check these out first. World of Fragments Epilogue. Ah, congratulations. Did you enjoy the various worlds that brought you here? Some of them were a bit subpar, I will admit, but other ones were actually pretty good. Hee hee. Now this marks the end of a long, long story. For you, maybe, but I gotta get back to Ray after this is done. So this story, for myself at the very least, is still not quite over. There were times I honestly felt fed up with how it seemed to go on forever. Relatable. But knowing that this is the end, I do feel a little reluctant to part ways. Again, relatable. That's why I'll offer one last gift for you who came through all these worlds. Okay. Okay. Don't you think 99 fragments was an unsatisfying number in the first place? Well, it's certainly not an even number, I can tell you that much. So I'm going to fill in that gap. You may be surprised, but this is a little present from me to you. Now, shall we return to the connecting fragments once more? Wait, do I actually have to go back to the connecting fragments thing? Maybe this is what this is right here. Maybe. From Frederica to you. Oh, hello. Now then. It's been such a long, long journey. I'm not even sure when it started. I can't remember it clearly. And this journey that has been going on for years and years is finally coming to an end. By any chance, are you unsatisfied? I'm pretty satisfied. Or is this sufficient? But from within this world of fragments, depending on how you put the pieces together, you can go to any future, or even the past. If there's something else that you desire, I'm sure you can find it yourself and if you venture out there. Well, anyway, the scattered pieces were finally put together, and Rika Furuti was able to surmount the wall of June 1983, stepping into a brand new future. What kind of hardships and difficulties await beyond that? I no longer know myself. But I think that experience of overcoming destiny through the cooperation of her friends That feeling of overcoming obstacles with the support of others will be a great inspiration for opening her way to the future. So, no matter how high the many mountains in the way may be, and no matter how unfathomably deep the valleys may be, that toil is a small price to pay in order to achieve happiness. This is Rika we're talking about, so I'm sure she'll be able to overcome it. However, wherever there is light, there is also darkness. And the stronger it shines, the darker and deeper the shadows born from it become. Rika was able to grab hold of her happiness. But what about the others? I wonder. Okay, so yeah, I guess I can take this image right here. At least for the villains, it's hard to say this is a happy ending. Yeah, well, who wants the villains in this case to win, though? Screw them. Their hatred and resentment will continue to smolder without ever dissipating, until something triggers it to ignite, with malice like a roaring back flame that may burn up everything around it. And in doing so, it could harm their happiness. It wouldn't be strange if it even destroyed it. Pursuit of happiness is a natural thought process common to everyone. Even those who choose to be penitent are seeking spiritual fulfillment. So humans are the sort of creatures that can never abandon their ego as long as they live. And when that ego is formed, it can collide with someone else's ego, causing friction, and resulting in them hurting one another. Such is the nature of human conflict. It stems from opposing ideals and societal norms. And when it's forced to take shape in a different form than you originally desired, people suffer and become distressed. What's more, when you feel anger and sorrow about your situation, you begin to feel hatred and resentment toward the other person. As a result, it creates a conflict in your relationship. In a worst-case scenario, they can reject one another's very existence. Big and small, light and heavy, and you can't deny the possibility it could become a serious altercation. If you wish to quench such a fiery conflict, just what on earth should you do? Make love, not war. Easy. Yes, that's right. It seems easy, but it's very difficult. Speak for yourself. Some people can talk it over with others and reach an understanding, but there are other people who cannot. Especially when their thoughts and values differ. They may shed blood and hurt each other. And even if they know the pain and suffering comes with a price, there are still things they can't comprehend. But people can't live alone, ignoring others. It's a troublesome existence that leaves you with a very fragile heart. That's why, when you have a conflict with someone, spare just a moment to imagine what must be going on in that person's heart. Why is their way of thinking so incompatible with your own? Why can't you convey your feelings to them? With those thoughts in mind, you can step into that other person's position for a little while and see things from their point of view. I don't know. I've met and seen my fair share of people whose points of view are so utterly alien to my own. I don't think I can ever fully put myself in their shoes, no matter how hard I try. And believe me, I did try. Espion, welcome to the stream. Hello. I love this melody. Save it to my music playlist. It is a nice melody. Very uplifting. Is that perspective truly guiltless? Is it 100% correct when viewed from a neutral point of view? Of course, it doesn't make you inferior to your opponent, and it doesn't make you a bad person. That's not what it means. Just that you're thinking about the other party's circumstances and seeing the result of that. So there's no need to feel disparaged or guilty. It would be nice if you could treat the other party kindly, just as long as they do it to me first. If you can do that, I'm sure the world will look a little brighter than before. I think the weight on your shoulders will feel just a little lighter. Oh, seems it's already time to say goodbye. I'll be heading to a different world from this point on, to once again wind up with a certain someone. Who? Will I be able to help them? Or will I end up causing them even more suffering? That's right. I'll think about it after I get to see them. Anyway, see you. Sometime, somewhere. I look forward to seeing you again one day. Frederica Bernkestel. Wow, we even got a little credit sequence with this one. Neat. Well, unless she's alluding to possibly meeting me somewhere in a future arc from Ray or Ho Plus, beats the hell out of me as to where exactly I'll end up meeting Frederica. Although I will say, if my experience with Rika and Saikoroshi-hen is anything to go by, Frederica's kind of a gloomy gal, not gonna lie. So, it's not like I'll be in a major hurry to affiliate myself with that little rain cloud anytime soon, you know what I mean? Lovely. Yeah. It starts out that way, but when you remember the images used for the opening video this song is used with, where it suddenly changes to Forgot Her Name, The Girl Who Woke, up covered in a pool of her parents' blood. Oh, you mean Natsumi? Yeah, I forgot about that. And now you've kind of ruined it for me again. Thanks, I guess? You know, since I basically just use the actual chat feature within YouTube to monitor the chat, maybe I should just get off my lazy ass and get rid of the on-screen chat at some point, so we can free up a little bit more real estate. For you guys, I mean, I can see it just fine. The HUD elements aren't on my monitor, but you guys, though, well, I imagine it's a bit of an annoying distraction. Yeah, okay, so it was Natsumi. Gotcha. Still amazing. Oh, yeah! It was. Still was quite a shocking moment when it first happened, back during that earlier console arc. And with later revelations and a few arcs that take place after that, that just kind of ended up twisting the knife even further. So I'll still give the console arcs featuring Natsumi and her group credit for that much at least. The plot twist to her killing her own parents was pretty well done, I'd say, for me. Maybe some of you guys might feel a bit differently on that, but that little thing I will give them credit for. They totally caught me off guard. I still have my criticisms of those particular arcs, though, which I won't go over again here in detail. I still think that I still think that the pacing issues with them is the biggest problem, but yeah, I mean, when those particular arcs shined, they shined pretty brightly, but I just don't think they compared to even the likes of Kotogoshi and a few of the other later arcs, and especially not with Miyotsukushi. To tell you the truth, I don't really think the particular plot lines featuring those characters, along with Tomoe and all that, really came together until Miyotsukushi Ura, and at that point, it was a great climax for those particular characters in their arcs. But it's just everything that led up to it there, I felt like it could have just been done a bit better. But to Miyotsukushi Ura's credit here, it still ended up being a fantastic conclusion to those particular characters' story arcs. And it complements Miyotsukushi Emote's events pretty well as a result, too. It's fair. Yeah. It is. They don't hold a candle to the main cast in the main story. But they're still all right on their own. Again, I think the real highlights of the console arcs were the last several ones, starting with Miyotsukushi with the Miyotsukushi arcs onward, is where the console arcs really started to take off in terms of quality. Still didn't quite match up to the level of the main stories, but they got pretty damn close at a couple points. Overall, I don't regret spending my time with the console arcs. Especially by the time I persevered and got to those later arcs. Okay, we're 25 minutes into this so far. Okay, next, Miyotsukushi all-cast review session. There are two slightly different versions of this cast party. The PS3 version is for people who have finished the main series and all the console arcs. The Switch version is for people who have read all that, plus the arcs from Higurashi Ho. Do they mean Ho plus? Because I haven't read any of those yet. Which one should I read? Oh boy. Okay, unless someone decides to tell me, decides to say otherwise, I'm going to assume that Ho refers to Ho Plus, so it'd probably be better for me to read the PS3 version. I'll wait just a minute for somebody to say something, in case any of you guys know. Honestly, no idea. Anyway, Liz25, welcome to the stream. We're just finishing off the console arcs. And so far, it's looking to me like we'll actually get this done in very short order. So if that ends up truly being the case, then I'll probably just start a separate stream for Yakuza 0 shortly after this one. So we'll see. So, alright, I'll just read the PS3 version, and who knows, maybe we can come back and check out the Switch version after I get through Ray and Hope Plus, just to be on the safe side. It could be another thing we could add to the bucket list. So, let's just do the PS3 version for now.
身を尽くし、祭り林を終えたプレイヤーの皆さん、本当にお疲れ様でした。
Hello, Reina.
そしてそれ以上に、最後までこの日暮らしの泣く頃に水をお楽しみいただきまして、とってもありがとうございました。
Higurashi When They Cry Sui? Hold on, what's Sui? I think I'll go to sleep as I'm sleepy after push-ups. Yeah, push-ups will do that to you. So you sleep well, and I will see you another time, Liz25. Thanks for popping up to say hi, if nothing else. It's good to see you. So let me look this up real fast. Higurashi When They Cry Sui. Higurashi When They Cry Sui. Oh, you bastard. Get... Okay, so Higurashi When They Cry Sui, when the cicadas cry essence, is a port of Higurashi When They Cry for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, developed and published by Kage Create. It was released on March 12th, 2015, and includes all arcs from Matsuri and Kizuna, as well as 2 arcs from Rei, and the anime arc Higurashi-hen, totaling 20 arcs. Okay, so it's Japanese exclusive thing from the looks of it. Okay, I think it's probably just what I'm covering right now, actually. So, alright. Mystery solved, I suppose. Let's continue.
視点と出発点の違った2つの最終話、身を尽くしと祭り林、いかがだったでしょうか?
Well, to tell you the truth, I still think I prefer Neosekken Emote a little bit over Chapter 8. But they both have some things going for them that, depending on your preference for certain key plot points, might be more satisfying for you on a personal level. But they also share quite a few similarities to each other as well in regards to how they play out. So I guess it's just a matter of personal preference, but yeah, I'm personally leaning towards Neosekken Emote in regards to which finale I prefer.
いろいろなご意見とご感想もあるかと思いますが、それでもやってよかったとほんの少しでも達成した喜びを感じてもらえたら本当に嬉しくて幸せに思います。
Alright, there are 2 console versions of sprites. There's 2 versions? Wait a minute. Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. I remember seeing sprite sheets for 2 different versions of the game when browsing around on the Higurashi wikis at a couple points. So maybe that's what I saw. A lot of them looked pretty identical to each other for the most part.
なんと申し上げましょうか。とにかくやっと終わったというただその一言でございますわ。本当に長いお話だったのですよ。
Wasn't it though? Took us 2+ years to get through these console arcs.
二人ともぐったりしちゃってるね。リカちゃんは後半ずっと喋りっぱなしだったから疲れたでしょ?
2.5 years of non-stop talking.
みー、一生分のセリフを喋ったのですよ。
生地大げさに聞こえないのが日暮らしならではってところだね。
One from the OG console version, mod uses the later versions.
身を尽くし、祭り林の2つだけでも平均プレイ時間が40時間以上。
40 hours of recorded line dialogue.
総プレイ時間200時間以上ってどんな大作 RPG だよって叫びたくなるよ。私の出番は目明かしで出尽くしたかと思っていましたが、その後のシナリオでもそれに負けず劣らず出るわ出るわ。まあたくさん話に参加できたのに文句を言っちゃバチが当たるってもんですけどね。そうです、シオンさんは贅沢です。私なんて後半ほとんど重要なシーンでは登場がなかったというのに。
While you may have not appeared all that much, Chi-sensei, the few appearances you did have were indeed memorable. And that's what counts, right? Is the impact rather than the frequency?
しかも毎回ネタキャラ扱いはどういうことですか？
Well, you are quite a gagging character, let's just say.
いや、そんなことを
Actually,
私に言われても。
Well, if nothing else, I'm sure I would be gagging if I misspoke about Curry in your presence, and you'd be shoving it down my throat, probably. That'd make anybody gag.
それでもさすが最終章というだけあって登場したみんなにそれぞれ見せ場があったよね。
Yeah, I wanted to ask, this game has more voice acting than some AAA games, I'll say.
大石さんの刑事魂、入江所長の医師魂、お二人の熱い思いがものすごく伝わってきましたよ。
それを言うなら二郎さん、あなたも素敵だったわよ。最後のあの場面で迎えに来てくれた時は本当に心の底から救われた思いだったもの。
あ、いや、あれは
Frankly, I'm more surprised at your figure.
ああ、はいはい。なんか一部で勝手に盛り上がっている人たちがいますが、とりあえず放っておこうか。ん？レナ、どうしたの？
最後だからどうしてもみーちゃんに聞いておきたいなって。聞いてもいいかな？
いや、別にいいけど。何？み
ーちゃんとケイチくんはその後どうなったのかな？
You talking about what happened after, the epilogue to Omote? You know what? Now that you got me thinking about it. How about it, Mion? Have you and Keiichi finally got around to making some human-alien hybrid babies together? I'll take that as a yes.
いや、別に私とケイちゃんは特にだからね。
ミオさんのおっしゃってる意味がさっぱりでしたよ。
Well, that's okay, Sasako. In this case, it's better to show rather than tell. And they showed me plenty just now.
ちんぷんかんぷんなのです。みぱ
まあ、ヘタレなお姉と鈍感なケイちゃんのことですから。ひょっとしたら予想もつかなかった第三者にインターセプトされて、最後は淡い恋の物語としてジ・エンド。
Oh, a love triangle. That could be scandalous.
ってな展開の方が可能性としては高いでしょうね。シオン、あんたね、サトシが戻ってきたあんたは幸せ絶頂なんだから、もう少し他人の幸せを願うって気持ちにはならないの？そりゃあまあ以前と比べたら少しは。とはいえラブラブカップルの暑苦しいイチャつきを見てるくらいなら、一昔前のトレンディードラマみたいな波乱万丈を期待するのが今時の健全な女子学生としては当然の考えでして。
I wonder if you'd still be saying that if I wonder if you'd still be saying that if Satoshi were around and it's you who wanted to act sultry and flirty with him. Because it's perfectly alright for you to act that way with him, right?
だったらあんたとサトシでそれやったらいいじゃんか。他人の不幸を期待するなっての。おあいにくさまです。私とサトシ君はもはやラブラブを通り越した固い運命の絆で結ばれていますから、波乱の展開なんか望んでも起こりえないんですよ。
Show me where that string is. Let me test how strong. Let me test its strength. Somebody get me some shears.
ね、サトシ君。
ごめん、シオン。話聞いてなかった。
Your bond of love is so damn strong, it completely killed his hearing. That is impressive.
何？
いやー、実に強い絆で結ばれたお二人さんだね。私も少しは見習おうかな。
I think listening would have been better to stay here in this case. But that's just me.
妹の私が申し上げるのもなんですが、ニーニーの僕年人ぶりは筋金入り。圭一さんに勝るとも劣らぬほどのまさにチャンピオン級なのでございますのよ。
I don't think this is something that you should be proud to brag about, Sadako, but that's just me.
そう簡単にシオンさんの思惑通りにはなりませんわよ。本当にそれ自慢じゃないね。
サトコが何を言ってるのかよくわかんないけど。
As if to prove her point about you.
なんだか随分ひどいことを言われてる気がするよ。
Well, he's not completely dense, so there's that, I suppose. There's hope for you.
気がするというよりもそのものズバリなのです。
まあこの言葉に潜む悪意に気づかないマイペースというかおっとり度合いがそのサトシ君ならではのいいところと申しましょうか。シオン、いくらなんでもそれは苦しいと思うよ。つうかむしろ痛いんだけど。
恋は盲目だね、みーちゃん。
So is justice.
レナ、なんで私を見ながら話すのさ。
っていうか、おい、俺のいないところで勝手に話を進めるんじゃねえ。
あら、ケイチ、いたの？
さっきからずっとここにいたっての。しかもリカちゃん、何気に黒バージョンで対応しないでくれ。いきなりその顔でそう返されるとビビっちまうだろうが。
Maybe it's not Dark Rika you're talking to right now, but rather Frederica.
いいじゃない。もうお互い隠し事のない間柄なんだし。
That was a very bad thing to say just now.
リカちゃん、それどういうこと？
こらミオ、なんでお前がそんなに反応する？っていうかリカちゃん、誤解を招くような発言はやめてくれ。別に俺たちはお天道様に顔向けできないことは何一つしてないだろうが。
Well, that's just a matter of perspective, depending on who you ask. Although I doubt most people would be okay with that, to be fair.
ええ、そうね。太陽が恥ずかしがって隠れちゃって。月がとっても綺麗だったわ。
Note to self, the moon is a shameless bastard.
本当に忘れられない夜をありがとう、ケイチ。
The first cast review with a Keiichi sprite. Is that really the case? I'm pretty sure there's had to have been at least one other one that had him, right? Was there? Huh. I honestly don't remember.
だからそれが誤解を招く発言だって。
Uh-oh.
ミオ、 それにレナ、どうして？
I'm in danger.
Keiichi-kun?
ちょっと待て、二人とも。これは誤解だ、間違いだ。絶対お前ら勘違いしている。つうかレナ、どこから出したその巨大なナタは。
Well, Keiichi, I have a sneaking suspicion that you and I are about to become eunuchs.
それはナタじゃない。もはやファンタジー RPG に出てくるバスタードソードだ。ミオンもなんだその怪盗。
Holy shit, that's a new sprite. I don't think I've ever, well, not a new sprite, but a new CG image. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Actually, you know what? Assuming we don't actually get a colored version of this. Oh, shit.
なんつっかさ。
Mauled gun, you're not supposed to carry stuff like that. Didn't mean to do that, but alright. Let me swap this out, because this is definitely more eye-catching, I'd say, than the background I had before. So let me swap it out. Because who doesn't like chicks with guns? I know I do. Okay, let me get that here and get the actual proper thumbnail set up. JPEG, here we are. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Nope. Now let's go over here. Get up here. Perfect. You never had one in question arcs, and there was no cast review and answer arcs, but there might have been one in the console arc, I forgot. Yeah, I think there had to have been one in the console arcs, because I think you're right about the main story arcs for sure. It's the console arc ones I'm a bit iffy about.
これでもさ、ずーっと気にしてたんだよね。空気読めないだの、男友達みたいだのって。私はこれでも女の子だってのに。
You sure?
でも、ケイちゃんは最後の最後で、やっと私の気持ちに気づいてくれたかなって思ったから、とりあえず過去のいろんな失言無礼は水に流そうかなって思いかけていたんだけど、ねえ。
ケイイチくん、確か日暮らしが始まった頃ってヒロインはレナだったよね。
Heroine might be a bit of a stretch. Going by the very first main story arc. I mean, I didn't really see you as a heroine back then. But yeah, sure. I guess if from a certain point of view you were indeed the star attraction of the female sex, so to speak. Even though it was for all the wrong reasons.
間違いなくレナだったよね。ポスターにもジャケットにもピンで乗ったくらいだし。なのに最後はミーちゃんといい感じになりかけて、レナはどっちかっていうとキープ？早い話が格下げ？でもレナはミーちゃんのことが大好きだから、ケイチくんが真剣に選んだ結婚ならそれでもいいかなってコンシューマー版限定で認めてあげるつもりだったんだよ。
Guys, let me propose a solution here that I think will make everybody happy, okay? You know, hear me out. Threesome. That is all.
なのに
だから違う、それは違うぞ。俺は別に誰にも色目は使ってないと思う。多分。
You should be a little bit more affirmative in your answers, Keiichi.
いや、確かに誤解を招くような発言、いや行動もあったかもしれんが、思春期の男子に、つかギャルゲーの主人公によくあるフェミニスト的な博愛主義というか。
Yep, it is an act of philanthropy to sleep with as many women as possible. Duly noted.
というより、英雄色を好むってことにはなりませんか?
I feel like I should know what this word means, but let me look it up real fast. Amorous. Amorous. Full of or strongly disposed to romantic love. Indicative of love or sexual desire. Of or associated with love. Well, I guess that might be true if we're talking about your average dating sim or eroge, maybe. But we're not really playing either of those right now, are we? Reina, Mion, and Shion, while Keiichi is stuck being helping Dad show off paintings to friends from back in Tokyo. Ah, okay, there we go. Guess there's that. So I think that was one of the earlier arcs then.
Tenchu! なんというか、先が思いやられますわね。
Hard going is certainly one way of putting it, yes.
平和になった途端に訪れる修羅場劇なのですよ。ニパー。
Well, I suppose the threesome doesn't have to be filled with bloodshed. Bereft of bloodshed, excuse me. There are some people that do like to make it those sort of things kinky that way, I suppose. And where the hell have you been?
惨劇をもたらした張本人が人事みたいな顔で言うのは良くないのですよ。
そっか。あんたもいたのね、羽生。あんたも長い間、本当にお疲れ様。
というかリカ、優しい言葉をかけてくれるのは嬉しいのですが、普段が普段なだけに逆に気色悪いのですよ。
Now, if this doesn't say a lot about your relationship with her, I don't know what does. That's just sad.
さとこ、そこのキムチ盛り合わせを取ってくださいなのです。今日は腹いっぱい五臓六腑に激辛レシピを叩き込んでやるのですよ。ニパー。
Oh, you poor creature. Prepare yourself.
ちょっとした僕の照れ隠しなのですよ。というわけで、日暮の泣く頃に祭りの物語に加えて、外伝作の昼壊し編、酔い越し編、サイコロシ編。
Okay, I'm gonna need to refresh my memory on which ones these are, so let me look at my playlist real fast. So, let's see. Yoigoshi was the one that featured, okay, it's the one that featured some of those characters after the disaster took place. That one was actually pretty okay. Different, but okay. Hiro Kawashi, that one is, which one's that one? I'm assuming it's one of the earlier ones. Let me see. Where is it? Where are you? This is not ringing any bells. Interesting. Is this part of it? Is this part of Ray or something? Or Hope Plus? Okay, you know what? Let me look it up real fast. Hold on just a second. Higurashi When They Cry. Hirokowashi. Hirokowashi. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Got it. I don't think I've actually covered this arc. Okay, it's part of Ray. Okay, got it. Well, that's the bullshit. You didn't tell me I had to check out Higurashi too.
そしてスタッフ念願の原作完結編祭り林編を加えた本作日暮らしの泣く頃に水いかがだったでしょうか。日暮らしを愛してくださった関係者の皆さん、いっぱいお世話になった原作の竜騎士07先生とスタッフの皆さん。
Well, I'm glad the man himself was around to actually help out a good bit.
そして何よりもずっと昔から大切に思ってくれた、あるいはつい最近興味を持ってくださった多くのファンの皆さんに喜んでもらえるようできる限りのものを詰め込みました。皆さんのご期待に応えられたかは分かりませんが、もし思い描いていたイメージに少しでも近づけたのならとてもとても嬉しいです。
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Hanyu being an interdimensional alien certainly exceeded my imagination. I can tell you that much. Never would have imagined anything like that. Possibly being a thing, but then again, the tenacity of Kota Higuchi is debatable at best regardless, so I mean... yeah, but I'll give it credit. I'll give that arc credit for one thing. It certainly was pretty creative with its creative liberties, if nothing else.
それからひなみ沢とは別の場所であったかもしれないアドバンスドストーリー、染め写し編、影帽子編、解きほぐし編、そして身を尽くし編裏は楽しんでいただけましたでしょうか。
To briefly reiterate what I said on these arcs earlier, I'm kind of mixed on them, but Miyasakushi Ura proved to be a pretty good, a satisfying finale for the first 3 arcs listed here, so it's worth it, I guess, if you can stomach the pacing issues.
清濁が入り混じったたくさんの思惑があったからこそ、挫折があり、克服があり、そして達成の喜びがあった。そんな登場人物たちの不器用でまっすぐな思いが皆さんの胸に少しでも響くことができますよ。心、
あ、そろそろいいかな。しーちゃん、準備できた？
ええ、バッチリです。それじゃモニターにつないで。
Monitor.
もしもーし、聞こえますか？
Higu HD Live.
はいはい、聞こえますよ。
Oh, hey, Natsumi.
こんにちは。みおんちゃんにしおんちゃん、それにレナちゃんも。そっちは盛り上がってますか？こんにちは、なつみちゃん。遠く離れたところとこんな風に顔を見てお話できるなんて、なんだか不思議な感じだね。そうだよね。これって最新式の通信技術なんでしょ？衛星放送もテレビ電話もまだ試験中って聞いたけど、どうやって設置したの？
The early days of satellite broadcasting and video calls. Those are some nostalgic times. Anybody remember Skype?
まあその辺は企業秘密ってことで、最後だからってことでいろんな人に超法規的措置やら何やらで動いてもらいましたから。とはいえ長いこと喋っていると怖い期間にバレちゃいますので、手短にお願いします。
わかった。というか、なんでそこまでして場所分ける必要あったの？別に私たちそっちに行ってもよかったんだけど。
そうだよ。
Chisato! God, I missed you.
私たちだけこんなところに隔離ってこれ差別じゃないの？
I'll say one thing about the cast of the advanced story arc. Chisato is definitely one of the better characters from those arcs, in my opinion. Tomoe is still the best one as far as I'm concerned, but Chisato's pretty high up there, just because I find her damn amusing when she goes on her, Yuri, tangents, shall we say.
私だってそっちで騒ぎたかったのに。
はいはい、落ち着きなって。まあ気心知れた者同士で集まってる方が何かと気楽だし、私はこっちでも全然構わないんだけどね。
まあそういう考え方もあるよね。
Monica! How's the old timer doing? The one you're married to? You making him a happy man?
そっちにクラちゃんいますか？
ね、おりますよ。
Speaking of happy old men, hello, Ushi.
まどかちゃんもお元気そうですね。
おかげさまで。本当はそっちに行くことも考えたんだけど、カオルさんがあんまりうるさいから仕方なくってさ。
I guess that answers my question about Poro Koraru.
何を言うんだ、まどかくん。君の体はもう一人だけのものじゃないんだぞ。
Well, Yamoki, I guess I won't have an opportunity to actually get you to live out your dream as being Superman after all, but I mean, for what it's worth, it was certainly fun for me to think about.
もし万が一のことがあったらどうする？
てな感じに。
Well, I still think it's bullshit that Tomoe didn't go through with using her head as a makeshift golf ball for, you know, committing bribery in front of me?
心配してくれるのはいいんだけど、正直ちょっとうざいっつうか。
Forcing me to...
近所に買い物行く時でもパトカー呼びつけてくるし、デパートに行った時なんか機動隊と爆弾処理班待機させてるんだよ。
Swear to God, I thought I heard something, but I guess I'm just imagining things.
辞めた人間がこうまで職権乱用しまくって、日本の将来が心配だわ。
Oh yeah, that's right, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, just forcing me to just sit here and watch as this man abuses his authority by getting himself fancy schmancy golf clubs that I couldn't use on him.
Come on!
And look at this, he doesn't even care.
日本の将来よりも私には我が娘の未来の方が重要なだけだ。
Spoken like the corrupt official he still is.
いや、まだ子供が女って決まったわけじゃないんだけど。うわぁ、ダメな父親パターンの典型だ。
One person's doting father is another man's crime lord. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to which one I see him as, and the first 2 don't count.
まあまあ、それだけ愛されてるってことですから。いやいや、羨ましい。
What do you have to be jealous of, Ushi? There's plenty of people who love you.
私もまどかちゃんはタッチの差で無理でしたが、あなたの娘さんを狙ってみましょうかね。
Ushi! Ushi, what? Are you on something? This isn't something that you just say out loud to the... Oh my god.
いいでしょう。相手になりますよ、大石さん。最近射撃の機会が少なくなって腕がなまっていたところですから。
Well, good news for you, Yamoki. Ushi is a nice wide target, so as long as you aim for the body, I don't think you're likely to miss.
冗談ですよ、山沖さん。
There's just some things you should not joke about, Ushi. Unless you're me. Then I can joke about anything and everything and get away with it.
あの二人笑ってるのに目が笑ってないね。
まあどっちかっつうとアキラも花嫁の父になったらああいう感じになると私は思うけどね。
Now that's just slander on poor Akira's character, Chisato.
そんなことないよ。ね、アキラくん。
ああ、もちろん。むしろ夏美の方が結構ああなりそうだと思うけどな。
何か言った？
いや別に。
にしても残念ですよ。
I'll say one thing though. When it comes to glares, I think Natsumi's definitely got the scariest one out of everybody here, for sure.
山沖さんにはぜひ公安に戻ってきてもらっていろいろとご鞭撻をいただきたかったのですが。
何をおっしゃる。あなたはもう立派な捜査官ですよ。
He's super cop.
どうかこれからも社会正義のために頑張ってください。
恐縮です。
And correction, Yamoki, it's not social justice he works for, it's great justice!
あなたの育まれた数々の経験と知識、しっかり受け継
期待していますよ。それにあなただけではありません。こちらでも今後の屋台骨を支えてくれる有望で心ある若者が育ってくれていますから。なあ、ともえくん。
And here's the other super cop herself. Stuffing her face with angel mort pastries, I'm assuming, like the sellout she is.
ともえくん?
I still haven't forgiven her for that, by the way. Her selling her dignity for a slice of cake.
ミナイさん、所長じゃなかった、元所長が呼んでますよ。
聞こえない。
Of course you're not listening. You're too busy stuffing your gullet with your ill-gotten goods.
なんも私聞こえない。あ、ウェイトレスさん、パフェここのページ全種類おかわりで。
See? She admits it.
ここの食材一人で食いつく好きですか、あんたは。もうフードクイーン通り越してデビルかサタンのレベルですよ。
No, she's just a black hole.
いいじゃない。女にとって甘いものは別腹って言うでしょ。
More like 4. Like a cow. Moo.
いや、さすがに同志扱いされるのは正直身内としても勘弁なんだけど。は
あ、何もいいことがなかった人生だったわ。
Doesn't it though? Like holy shit. Like you really do need a break. You know, after you redeem yourself for selling yourself out for a slice of parfait.
お疲れ様会は別室扱いになるし、妹とおっさんのイチャラブ見せつけられて食は進まないし。
Now you're just lying. You're eating just fine from what I can hear.
いや、めっちゃ進んでるじゃん。ダッシュ全開で進みまくってるじゃん。
つーか、俺さっきからずっと考えてたんですけど、俺たちが別室になったのってミナイさんの半端なく食べる量が結構関係あるんじゃ。
なんか現実認めたくなくってひたすら食べ物に逃げてるって感じだね。
そりゃ生まれてくる子が男だろうが女だろうが、その子からはおばさんって呼ばれること確定だからな。
I will say though, when it comes to the term aunt, there's just something about it that just inherently says older person to me. I don't know if anyone else thinks like that, but aunt just kind of feels like it's in a similar category to like grandma or something like that. Does anyone else think that way, or is it just me?
逃げたくもなるわ。これ見たら男も逃げるだろうけどさ。
おい、そこの二人表出ろ。警察の教授きっちり教えてやるから。
Ooh, violence. Violence!
結構です。
でもすごいなあ、ともえさん。もっと元気出して頑張るためにも、私も見習っていっぱい食べられるようにならなくちゃ。
Unless you can control where all the fat in your body goes, especially the important areas, Natsumi, I would strongly advise against doing so, for your own health's sake.
ね、あきらくん。
頼む夏美。他のことはともかくあれだけはやめてくれ。違う意味で惨劇だ。
たく。そうだ、レナさん。渚さんも来てるわよ。
Nagisa!
やっほーレイナ。
Back from the dead!
久しぶり。あ、渚ちゃん。そっちに行っちゃってたの？こっちに来てくれたらいっぱいお話できたのに。
And you know, not getting to the back of a strange man's van, but details.
ちょっと塾が長引いちゃってごめんね。でも近いうちに必ず行くから待っててね。こっちの友達もいっぱい紹介したいから絶対だよ。楽しみにしてるね。
あれすみません、尾崎さん。そんな顔今までしたことあった？
確かに初めて見る表情よね。
I'm pretty sure I've seen her smile before.
ひょっとして今回のお疲れ様会用の特別は？
違うよ。私シナリオの関係でこんな顔する時が全然なかったもの。
Maybe it is new then, and I just never noticed.
でも表情差分にはちゃんとあったんだよ、実は。
じゃあ没顔ってことね。
なるほど、納得。なんかそう言われると腹立つんだけど。
Yeah, no one likes to be dummied out of anything.
すみません、尾崎さん。この子自分より可愛い子見つけるとすぐ突っかかるっていうか。
人を嫉妬の鬼みたいな言い方するな。あ、そういや、ボツといえばあのイベント CG もそうだよね。
Event CG?
あれって
ほら、圭一くんがどこかに捕まりながら
Oh, hello. This actually looks pretty decent. Guess what I'm gonna be doing again, everybody? Okay, let's get this over here and replace this again. Perfect. Oops, not there we go.
以前の PV で見かけたけど、あれどこかで使った？
Music videos. I assume they mean one of the opening cinematics.
言われてみれば、一体どこで使うつもりだったのかな。
それについてはコンシューマー版の監督からコメントを預かってきたわ。
Oh?
本当ですか？
ちょっと読むわね。実は身を尽くし編の終盤の高野との対決のシーン。
Oh?
あそこの舞台は当初古出神社じゃなくて野号地の採石場になる予定だったんだって。なんと、綿流しの時にみゆきちゃんひなみ沢に来てたでしょ。ところが彼女が山犬に誘拐されてしまったので、それを救い出すチームが古出神社に行くことになる。
そうなるともちろん古出神社に行ってみゆきを救い出すのは私たちのチームが担当することになります。つまり前原君たちが古出神社に行き、一方で私たちが野号地に向かった当初の展開とは正反対になっていましたね。
そういうこと。そして前原君たちは別動隊として野号地から H17302 を散布しようとするヘリを止めようと奮闘する。
Interesting.
とまあそういう話だったそうよ。
Now that you've got me thinking about it, I think I kind of would have wanted to see events play out like that. That could have been pretty interesting.
ほんじゃなんで変えたの？
監督が力尽きた。
You're joking, right?
おいおいおいというのは冗談で。
Oh, thank God.
あそこは羽生ちゃんとリカちゃんの最終決戦を肝に据えたかったので、赤坂さんたちの活躍を入れてしまうと重要な要素が見えづらくなってしまう。
I guess I can see the logic in that, but I'd argue that it ended up being to the rest of the characters and by extension the arc's detriment doing it like that. I think you could have still had a bit of both without one necessarily taking away from the other.
そういう判断だったそうよ。締め切り直前まで入れるかどうかで悩みまくったとは監督の言い訳。もとい心残りだって言ってるけどね。
Screwed by the deadlines, huh?
そうだったんだ。でもケイチ君のそういう活躍も見てみたかったかな。
I still would have liked to have seen the village take on the mountain dogs at the Irie clinic.
まあまあいいじゃない。念願の原作完結編祭り林が入ったことでケイちゃんもレナも結構な活躍ができたんだからさ。
最後に一番美味しいところを持っていったのはみーちゃんだったと思うけどな。
ですよね。私なんていい感じで足止めしてここは私が防ぐから先に行けってな役回りだったのに、あっさり敵に捕まって人質交換のネタにされましたからね。
でもシオンちゃん、反撃の時はちゃんと活躍しててかっこよかったよ。
登場キャラの人数が増えてくるとセリフと登場回数の差が開いてしまうのは仕方ないことなのですよ、みー。そうだね。でも私もいつか機会があったらレイナと一緒のお話に出てみたいな。そんな幸せな世界があったらレナもぜひぜひ行ってみたい。そして今度こそいっぱいお話しして分かり合ってもっともっと仲良くなろうね。もちろん約束だよレイナ。
おっとそろそろ時間です。それじゃ柿内の皆さん、お名残惜しいですが一旦中継を切らせていただきますね。
はーい、それじゃあまた後で。
ありがとうございました。なぎさちゃんとお話ができてよかった。それじゃあ次は、すみません、聞こえますか？
Oh, we got another call?
はいはい、聞こえますよ。どうもお疲れ様です。
And here's Miyuki, the future. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't have video call technology that could allow you to contact the future even back when Skype was a thing. And we certainly don't have it now, so, or maybe I'm just ignorant and missed out on it or something.
あ、どうもこんにちは。
Hello, Tobe.
で、そこどこ？なんかものすごく時代感じるんだけど。おや、これは面白いね。若い時のレナと話ができるだ。しかもなんか見たことある人がいるというより見たくない、認めたくない人が。
It's the face wrinkles, isn't it? The sight of them is making your mind split in two.
どうなってんの？細かいことでギャーギャーうるさいね。もうちょっと落ち着いて話ができないのかい？あんたこそどうしてそんなに落ち着いてられるのさ。なんかおかしいって考えたりしないの？さあね。難しい理屈とか私にはさっぱりだからさ。
Yeah, logic is really hard to figure out. To be fair, not everyone can do it.
ただ一つだけ言えることがあるとすれば、ここはひなみ沢。死者が歩いていてもその声を聞いても別に不思議なことじゃない。つまり異世界の人間とこうして顔を合わせたり話をしたりしてもおかしくはないってことさ。そういうもんなの？そういうこった。あんまりつまんないことでくよくよ悩んでたら若い時からシワとかもできて髪の毛のツヤとかもなくなっちまうよ。
I take her word for it, cause she's kind of halfway there at the face wrinkles. You know, around the eyes, if you call those wrinkles.
みーちゃん？兄ちゃんが泡吹いて痙攣してる。
Uh-oh.
しおさんも壁に向かって何やらブツブツとつぶやき始めましたわ。
Uh-oh. The trouble's been doubled.
おやおや、そんなに大人になった自分を見るのがショックなのかね。そもそもそんなに嫌だったら今から努力すれば未来も変わるかもしれないのに。私たちなんてあくまで未来の可能性の一つでしかない。過去で何かを選択した時に置き捨ててきた亡霊みたいなもの。要は気持ちの持ちようってことさ。そうだろ、リカちゃん。
全くなのですよ、みぱーん。確かに園崎さんの言う通りですね。
And hello, Yae.
ほら、たくみくんもみんなに挨拶しなきゃ。あれ？すみません、たくみくんまた寝ちゃったみたいです。
Now, you can be honest. We all know that your boy toy is not exactly sleeping right now.
いや、十和田さん、シャレになってないって、そのネタは。
ん？どうしたんですか、龍之介さん。声だけどこかから出してないで、画面の前に出てきてくださいよ。
It really is a shame that he never at any point got a character sprite.
いるよ、さっきからここに。声だけって俺は幽霊扱いか？つうか俺ここでも立ち絵なし？なんでよ、他の連中みんなあるのになんで俺だけ？
Really though, you're pretty much the main character in at least one arc, so I mean, maybe it would make sense to me for you to have one.
仕方ないですよ。
And yet,
そもそも酔い越し編って荒川さんの視点で進むんですから。演出の関係でそうなっただけです。
それに
もし龍之介さんのかっこいい姿を見てみたいファンの皆さんはぜひぜひコミックス版酔い越し編過去全2巻括弧閉じをご購入ください。
shameless plug.
あいにく私は出てませんが、ミオンさんたちの勇姿、そして素敵な物語があなたを待ってますよ。
Oh, what? You're not in the manga version?
宣伝かよ。だったらむしろ今ここにいる俺をアピールしてくれよ。 とりあえずうまくまとまったところでもうお時間ですよね。まとまってねえよ。
Poor Arakawa.
こういうやりとりができるのはお疲れ様会ならではって感じだね。
違う。あんなくたびれたやさぐれ熟女が私の未来なんかじゃない。もっと生活感があって、あんなヤマンバーが私のはずがない。
Well, hey, look on the plus side. If you did turn into a mountain witch, at least you'd have access to some fancy schmancy black magic voodoo.
っていうか、なんかおかしいでしょ。みゆきちゃんと私たちの年の差って確か10くらいのはずなのに、どう考えてもあれ、母と娘くらいに離れた感じの老いっぷりですよ。
Some people age more gracefully than others.
あの二人には何とお声掛けすればよろしいかしら。ほっときましょうなのです。
それじゃあ羽生、次はどこにつなぐの？
ああ、過去の世界ですね。
And I see you changed your outfit, Hanyu. I'm sure Riku would be very displeased.
リカは平気ですか？
別に平気よ。ミオンたちとは違って、自分とは違うご先祖様と顔を合わせるだけなんだから。羽生こそ平気なの？過去の自分と面と向かっても。
まあ、僕は成長はしても老化はしない種族ですから。久しぶりに桜花の顔を見られるのも楽しみなのですよ。はんはん。
そう。
Oh, we're gonna call the Koto Higuchi versions of yourself and the rest, huh?
じゃあつなぐわね。もしもし。
Let me guess. It's Riku seeing Hanyu in an outfit that's not a Maiko outfit, and he is despairing so hard right now. Am I right?
リク、本当にあなたはいつも
Or maybe we called right when when this version of Hanyu is about to break his back.
たまには巫女服のことを忘れて祝いの席に着く気にはなれないのですか。
Okay, it is about the Maiko outfit. Spoke too soon. Oh, you poor bastard. I miss him!
母様？落ち着いてください。さすがに父様が危険です。
危険だと？危険なのはむしろ私の方だ、王家。よりにもよって最後の機会にリクのドアホーが仕立てた超エロエロな巫女服なんかで皆の前に出てみよう。
Wait, is Uka wearing one right now? Get out of the way, let me see.
お社様ってもしかして変態なんてことを思われて、鬼が淵の信仰なんて粉々に砕け散ってしまうわ。
I don't know. I mean, people believed in there was a point in history where people in Greece widely believed in the Greek gods, and those guys were a bunch of horny sons of bitches. So I don't think that in itself would really dissuade a whole lot of people. What the hell do I know?
それは
Especially if we're talking about Zeus, because he pretty much fucked anything that moved.
大丈夫です、羽生。その巫女服を着てみんなの前にお披露目すれば、きっと信者数は増えるはずです。特に男。これはもう私が太鼓判を押して胸を張って断言できます。
それ以上に女子と大多数の男の良識人がドン引きしていなくなるわ。
Hey, I don't think I've ever actually seen this sprite of hers with red eyes. Did we?
とりあえずこっちはまた後で中継戻します。
Oh, poor Riku. I have a sneaking suspicion that by the time other Hanyu is done with him, Uka will not be able to have any siblings. And yes, I know it's canonical that Uka doesn't have any siblings.
ねえ羽生、聞いてもいい？
なんでしょうか。
私もあの血をわずかながら引いているってことに少し、いえ、かなりおぞけが走るんだけど。
Well, look on the bright side. Apparently, Maiko outfit obsession skips a generation. Or several in your case.
一体どこに惚れたの？
いや、優しいところだったと思いますです。多分。あまりに昔すぎたので思い出せないというか時間を置いて冷静に見直してみたらだんだん自信がなくなってきたというか。
If there's one thing that you don't have here in the present on you, it's a cool head. Especially now. You don't need to lie.
先ほどのレナの言葉通り、恋は盲目というやつですね。
未来は変えられるかもしれないけど、過去はさすがに無理ね。
I bet you wish you could change it right now.
今のは見なかったことにしましょうなのです。
そうね。
Wait, we're done? That's it? Okay, good, no.
日暮らしの泣く頃に睡もすべてのエンディングを迎えたことで、このお疲れ様会も最後になりました。いつもなら乾杯の温度をとってシナリオの検討会を行うところですが、今回はこの場をお借りして登場したキャラクターからプレイヤーの皆様に一言ずつお礼のご挨拶をさせていただきたく存じます。
じゃあ私からだね。いろいろと悲惨な目にあったり、とんでもない扱いを受けたりして本当に散々でしたが、皆様と一緒にハッピーエンドを迎えることができて最高に
Amen to
嬉しいです。
that.
またどこかの違う世界で皆様とお会いできる日を楽しみにしております。じゃあ続いて私、毎回暴発キャラというか、ちょっとしたことで切れたり勝手に動いたりして話の展開をややこしくしてしまってすみませんでした。
You know what? It's okay, Shion. I forgive you. I get it. When you've got a fine specimen like Satoshi to lust after, I can totally understand why you are the way you are. Probably.
でもずっと探し求めていた真実、そして大切なものを最後に手に入れることができて本当に良かったです。これも皆さんが最後までお付き合いいただけたおかげだと心から感謝しております。
それでは私が過去に犯してしまった罪のトラウマと素直になれない性格のせいでたくさんの方々にご迷惑をおかけしてきました。ですがそんな私を受け入れて守ってくださった人たちとの思い出はずっと大切な私の宝物でございます。私はこの思いを忘れることなく、他の誰かに対しても自分が何をできるのかをずっと考えて生きていきたいと思いますわ。
真実を確かめること、自分にとって大事なものを守ることに僕は臆病でありすぎたのかもしれない。これからは勇気を出して自分が今何をすべきなのかを常に意識して行動していくつもりだ。
Shion, the OG hero, saved the village from Takano. That she did. That's
大切な
still
ことを気づかせてくれて
that's still
本当にあ
damn
りがとう。
hilarious to me. After I found that out the first time.
自分の選んだ道が間違っていたとは思わない。ただ私は自分の夢を実現することが全てだと思いすぎたせいで、世界がたくさんの人の意志によって成り立っているということを忘れてしまっていた。
Well, don't knock yourself too bad now, because if you have proven anything at all, is that there are indeed benefits at times to having super narrow tunnel vision.
自分以外の人がそれぞれに持つ夢や価値観はきっとその人にとって自分と同じように大切なもの。
Because I'll say one thing, when somebody is as single-minded and determined as you are, they can accomplish a lot.
私のそばで支えてくれる人ができた今はそれがよくわかるの。これも皆さんがここまで私を導いてくれたからなんでしょうね。
ええ、私もそう思います。私は一人の女の子のおかげでそのことに気づくことができた。独りよがりな夢はただの野心でしかない。多くの人に認められて、そして自分も多くの人を認めることで夢は実現するものだと。いやいや、随分遠回りをしちゃいましたね。
でも気づけたことが幸せなんですよ。その時その場所に何気なく存在する真実への扉。たくさんの失敗や後悔があってもいい。諦めずにそれを開くための努力をいついかなる時でも忘れずにいたい。それが自分にとって一番納得のできる最善手だと思えるから。
I'd rather say as wealthy as her. Yeah, me
な
too.
い。難しく考えることはないんですよ。夢が人を裏切るなんてことはその人の意志がある限り絶対にありえないんですから。
Speak for yourself. Half of my dreams became memes.
失ってしまった時間は戻ったりはしませんが、新しい時間がきっとあなたのために何かを用意してくれるはずですよ。
カレー万歳だからどうしてこう綺麗にまとまりかけてる時にこの人は。
That was just the perfect thing she could have said. The perfect thing.
っていうか知恵先生ってこういうキャラだったかな。
If she didn't have Hifumi's money to bribe the mountain dogs. Oh, you mean Takano?
ちょっとイメージ変わったかも。
え、最後は俺たちで締めるって？じゃあ日暮の泣く頃に水を最後までプレイしてくださって本当にありがとうございました。いろんな失敗、時には悲惨な末路を迎えた俺たちですが、最後はこうして幸せな未来を迎えることができて本当に嬉しく思います。
いつも近くで支え合って励まし合って生きてゆくかけがえのない仲間たち。皆さんにもそんな人はいますか？それはただ欲しいと望むだけじゃ手に入らないものだけど、誰かに優しくなろうと思い続けている人にはきっと向こうから誰かが手を差し伸べてくれるんだとレナは信じています。最初から全てを持っている人はきっといないと思うのです。今自分が持っている何かは独力で勝ち取ったものもあれば、誰かから与えられて得たものもあります。それに囲まれて満たされた時間と世界で生活できることはきっと幸せ。でも与えられるよりも与える立場になって、誰かの時間と世界を温かなものに変えることはきっとそれ以上に素敵だと思うのですよ。そんなたくさんの人の夢と希望、そして思いが詰まったこの日暮の泣く頃に水。この作品に触れた皆さんにとって何かを感じ、そして何かを変えるきっかけになってくれたのなら、僕たちはとっても幸せです。そしてこれからも様々な世界で広がり続ける日暮と僕たちのことをいつまでもずっと忘れないでいてほしいのですよ。
You speak of yourselves like you're the bubonic plague.
それじゃあ最後に全員で皆さんにご挨拶。温度は私でいい？それじゃせーの。
All hail Curry!
ありがとうございました。
すべてのシナリオを読み終えたプレイヤーの皆さん、本当にお疲れ様でした。
Wait, there's more?
そしてそれ以上に最後まで物語をお楽しみいただきまして、とってもありがとうございました。いろいろなご意見とご感想もあるかと思いますが、それでもやってよかったとほんの少しでも達成した喜びを感じてもらえたら本当に嬉しくて幸せに思います。
なんと申し上げましょうか。
Wait.
とにかく
What the? Is doing it again?
やっと終わったというただその一言でございますわ。
Why to start over again?
本当に長いお話だったのですよ。二人ともぐったりしちゃってるね。リカちゃんは後半ずっと喋りっぱなしだったから疲れたでしょ。
It's not starting to switch. It didn't start the Switch version of this thing, did it? That's weird. Why don't I exit this? Because this seems like it's just starting over again. Alright. Strange little thing, but doable. And last but not least, a note from Dr. Diablo. I wonder who that is. Actually, before we start this final tip, I need to take a quick bathroom break. I will return. Alright, I'm back. So, A note from Dr. Diablo. Hi, Dr. Diablo here. I'm the one who started the Console Arcs project and kind of ran the whole thing over the lifetime of the project. So you're the head honcho here. Ryushiki did one of those staff room things after each of the answer arcs, so I feel like after releasing 10 of these arcs, I earned the right to do one too. So, did you enjoy these arcs? For the most part, yes. I know opinions are mixed on some of these, and believe me, I've seen a lot of opinions, but I hope you at least feel your time was well spent. I'd say for the most part it was, especially towards the end. I always thought it was a shame that most discussions about these stories were based on second or third-hand opinions, and sometimes even completely false rumors, so I'm glad people can actually read them for themselves and come to their own opinions about them. And it's interesting that even though people tend to consistently agree some of them are good and some of them are not, they disagree about which ones they like. Even some of the ones I personally couldn't get into, I've seen people say they really loved them. So at the very least, I think it was worth putting in the time into releasing them all. And I encourage any fans out there to give them a try if they haven't. It's finally done. I can't believe this project is finally complete. As of right now, it's been downloaded over 18,000 times, and that number will only go up with the Higurashi release. I dumped the English text into a file just to check, and it's over 2,000 pages long, just under 1 million words. It took 4.5 years to get through it all. If I knew it would take this long when I first started it, I would have been scared away from it. But I'm glad I stuck with it because the end result is far better than anything I could have imagined back then. So, a little bit of history. I actually started helping out at the 07th mod with Yumineko. Oh, so okay, so this is from one of the modders then. After finishing up the Yumi question arcs, I decided to contribute a bit with Tachagoroshi, since I needed some help with the graphics side of things. Later on, some came along who could do a much better job of the graphics stuff, so I decided to look for a different way to help out. That's when I had a small revelation. I realized that the files we used to develop the mod include all the content from these other arcs. I didn't even tell anyone I was doing it. I just secretly did some testing and determined it was completely doable, so I started making it happen. The primary goal from day one was that I wanted to release Miyotsukushi. I loved that arc, and I wanted more people to read it. But I knew it was absurdly long, so I decided to start with a shorter arc and see what I could actually do. I chose to start with Sumitsushi because it was short, mostly self-contained, wasn't too spoilery for the people following the Steam releases. It came out around the same time as Mikishi, and it's based on a manga arc Ryushiki wrote, so I figured there'd be interest. And, well, if you're one of the handful of people who actually read the 1.0 release when it was just Sumitsushi, I need to apologize. I started this project thinking I'd handle the technical stuff and recruit someone else to do the translation work, but nobody volunteered. So I decided to do a half-assed initial translation of my limited Japanese experience. I was hoping that a proper release would build enough hype to get other people involved in the project, and they'd go back and fix my work. It did indeed build a lot of hype, but nobody volunteered to help out back then. Sad face. Aww. But people were very encouraging and told me to keep making more, so I went back and fixed it up as best as I could, then moved on to the next arc. And other people did eventually review the earlier arc, so they're in a far better place now than they were back then. The Console Arcs mod itself has grown and changed a lot over time. The original Sumitsushi release didn't even have the tips or the all-cast party. It didn't? I had to figure out how to add those things so they could be included in the 1.3 release. Oh, never mind. I thought that he was talking about, talking about them like they were additions that he and the mod team added, but no, I guess they just weren't translated. Then each arc after that had a major hurdle or feature I had to overcome. With Kagebushi came the ability to switch between NVL and ADV mode, and integration with the 07th mod installer. Tsukio Toshi added support for lip sync. Around the Tari Mawashi release, I redesigned the way the script files are generated, so it cut down on a huge amount of manual work that had to go into development. It also made the tips work like actual tips, with names and everything. Yoigoshi was the first arc with choices, so I had to do a lot of magic to get it all working. That was also when we added the OPs, added a chapter jump, and fixed the red X problem that made it impossible to read in Japanese. Toki Hogushi actually didn't have any major changes. It was just business as usual, I guess. Mitsukushi Emote added the ability to play with Manga Gamer and Ryoshiki sprites for all the people who prefer those art styles. It also added a much needed feature that let people skip choices if they didn't care about them. And the arc was absurdly long, so it took forever for me to get through it. Miyosakushi Ura itself was pretty straightforward, but the connecting fragments were added at the same time, and that part was much harder to implement. I ended up making them work like tips instead of recreating the fragment interface. And honestly, I think it's better this way. Oh, so it had a different interface. Miyosakushi PS2 was very challenging because I wanted to make sure the system internally used the same script files for Emote and PS2, so typo fixes and things like that could apply in both places. It was a hassle, but it was the right call in the long run. Haji Sarashi had an absurd amount of effects that had to be manually added in because the people doing the scripting on that one went mad. Care to share some more? This sounds interesting. Kotogushi was the first arc translated by someone other than me, so I had to face the hardest challenge of all. Communicating and coordinating with another human being. Oh, that is the worst. Here's one more fun story from working on this project. Maybe fun isn't the right word. Somewhere in the middle of developing Miyosakushi, my hard drive died on me. Oh, you didn't lose any essential project files, did you? I back stuff up pretty regularly, so I only lost like 2 days worth of translation work. Oh, that's good, you're smart. But I ended up losing a lot of other random files in the process, so I guess I spoke too soon. So I decided to pay some data recovery guy to try to save whatever files he could get off the hard drive. I was convinced it was completely dead, but he somehow managed to recover 80% of the files, including a bunch of graphic stuff and all the translation work I thought was lost. The image you're looking at right here is one of the files that came out of the data recovery process in a corrupted state. Aww. I still did lose some stuff like the original. All .psd of the flowchart, but it wasn't anything that hurt the project. At worst, it just delayed things by a couple of weeks. Oh, you might have noticed a couple of unfamiliar songs playing during this segment. Now that you mention it, you're right. These are actually songs that were included in the game files on the console version, but never get called anywhere in the console arcs mod. Why not? Stuff that only gets used in the main series, and stuff that only shows up in the menus, the quiz game, stuff like that. I thought it was a shame that nobody got to hear these songs, so I decided to stick them in here to give them a brief moment to shine. Huh. And maybe I'm dragging this talk out a little bit to give the music more time to play. Would I do that? So, now that I'm finally done with the console arcs, I have some time to work on other things. I suppose this would be a great time to announce a new project. It would, wouldn't it? Oh. But I'm not going to. At least not yet, anyway. Okay, I will say I'm 100% committed to translating the new story content in Higurashi Hold Plus. The only things that could possibly stop me are an official release being announced, someone else doing it first, me dying. Well, I hope you're not dead, whoever... Well, yeah. I hope you're not dead. So, look forward to that for sure. The new stories, not me dying. You seem like a nice fellow. I wouldn't want to see you dead. But anyway, I've actually had a whole bunch of ideas for other projects that I'd like to work on. I'm just debating which of them I really want to dive into. There's a ton of Higurashi manga that has been fully translated, like Katari Banashi, Kizuna, the Umineko crossover episode X, and so much more. Crossover episode. A PC port translation of Higurashi Mei, Higurashi Elite, an even fancier mod for the Steam version of Higu that uses shots and animations from Go/Sotsu where they make sense. Oh, that sounds interesting. Doing an editing/TLC pass on Rose Gun days. Doing the same for Higanbana. Maybe making an enhanced version of RGD that uses shots from the manga as CGs, or again doing the same for Hagenbana. Harem Royale. Trianthology. Here's one I'm sure you weren't expecting. Translating the Leaf Fight cards Ryoshiki made and the rules for the game so that we can actually play together. Probably lots of other stuff I can't think of right now. I also considered translating Higurashi Daybreak, Iwahime, and Loopers at certain points in the past. Hey, Loopers! Isn't that one of the games I got on Steam right now that Ryoshiki worked on? But those all got picked up, so that saved me the trouble. Yeah, okay, it must be. So if you're interested in any of the projects I mentioned, or if you have any other ideas for fun things to work on, feel free to let me know. Iwahime sounds familiar. Let me look that up real fast. Iwahime. Okay, it's not on Steam, so... Visual novel. What the hell? It is on Steam? Why didn't it show up then when I loaded it up on my phone? That's weird. Oh, yeah, I actually have this one in my library too. Okay. So if you're interested in any of the projects I mentioned, or if you have any other ideas for fun things to work on, feel free to let me know. I'm far more likely to pick up a project if I know there are people out there who like it and are hyped to see it release. It makes the whole process that much more enjoyable. Just please don't ask me to translate Gerokasu. What's Gerokasu? Now you're making me look up something else. Gerokasu visual novel. What's this one? Okay, so... Okay, so Gerokasu. Genso Rogoku no Kaleidoscope, officially abbreviated as Gerokasu, is a Japanese psychological horror novel developed by 07th Expansion and published by Entergram. The story revolves around 4 high school students, Fuka Gojo, Karen Tamaru, Mina Yuasa, and Dorime Hanabusa, who were kidnapped and forced to participate in a death game. Ooh, a death game. The game was originally planned to be released on November 28, 2019, but due to production issues, it was postponed and eventually released on December 17, 2020 for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation Vita. The game's scenario was written by Ryoshiki07 and character designs were drawn by Itaro Inoue. A sequel to it was released on March 14, 2025. The game has been described as girls' mental suspense game and has received mixed reviews, with some fans finding it entertaining despite its flaws. Interesting. It's something I'll have to look into a bit more later. Anyway, I think I rambled on long enough, so I should probably wrap up here. This project may be my baby, but it was only this successful thanks to the contributions of so many other people. If you ever helped me with a problem I had, if you ever submitted a fix to the repository, if you ever reported an issue on GitHub or Discord, thank you so much. If all of you did is play it and tell me it worked, that's actually a really big help too. Well, it worked! In fact, I'm grateful if you just commented saying you enjoyed these stories, if you stopped for a moment to say thanks, or if you said that you were looking forward to future content. I vote all of the above. Because more than anything else, the enthusiasm in the community is really that main thing that gave me the motivation to keep going all these years. So at the end of it all, there's really only one thing left for me to say here. To all of you out there, thank you for being a part of this. Thanks for having me. Wow, that was sweet. So, is that it? Yeah, I guess so. Can't believe it. I'm actually done. I'm well and truly done with this. I'm not gonna lie, now that I've actually finally reached this point, part of me is actually genuinely kind of sad that this is really the end. I've been doing this for over 2 years, to where it just feels like it's just part of life, really, for me to just weekly, bi-weekly, whenever I can squeeze in the time, just work on the console arcs a bit more, and then just rinse and repeat. Just seemed like one of those things that just kept on going and going, and before I know it, 2+ years had passed, and now here I am at the end of it all. 5+ years if you also count the main story of Higurashi, and even then, like I've been saying, I'm still not done, since I'm going to be covering what's left of Ray and Hope Plus too, to boot. And then there's Higurashi When They Cry Go after all that, so yeah. This thing might end up, for all I know, that I'm trying to remember when exactly it was 5+ years ago that I actually started Higurashi. It wasn't, I think it was in the summer months, right? Like, or spring maybe? I wonder if I'll end up reaching the 6-year mark by the time I actually get through what's left of all this stuff. That could be interesting. And impressive. Man, can you imagine spending 6+ years of your life on just one particular series? As a content creator, I mean. I could not even imagine back when I started this that I could have been doing this for as long as I have been now, let alone possibly reaching a 6-year mark to boot, depending on where the stars align on that. I could not even imagine having spent that much time on just one thing, and yet here I am, 5+ years later. Freaking wild. Absolutely wild. What else can I really say that I haven't already said? Pretty much gone over. I pretty much at their own individual points, and even just now, more or less, just gave a brief summary of what I thought of the console arcs, and I don't really think there's anything more I can really say. Yeah, I don't regret checking them out. I think it was definitely worth it, even despite some of the issues I had with some of the earlier console arcs in particular. I don't regret taking 2+ years to check them out. But now we have what's left of Ray and Hope Plus to look forward to. So definitely looking forward to, and I'm very curious as to what it's going to be in store for me with all those ones. And to everybody who's been following me covering all these story arcs up until this point, thank you so much for going on this long ass journey with me. Again, I had no idea it'd end up taking me this long here just to reach this point, and I'm still not done. But well, I'm giving some enjoyment to you guys at the end of it all, right? Because that's really in the end what really matters to me here is that I'm giving something worthwhile to you guys in turn. And I, in turn, get to experience a really fun story in the form of Higurashi and all of its sub-arcs. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything more for me to say, so here's what I'm gonna do. Even though we've been at this for couple hours now, I'm going to take a very short break. I'm going to end this stream here, and then I'm going to set up another one for another short stream for Yakuza 0. So if you guys want to tune in for that, I would just keep an eye on your guys' subscription feed for that stream to pop up. And I will see you guys shortly. But if you're not interested, then I will look forward to seeing you either for the first part of Noel the Mortal Fate, which I still plan on trying to do tomorrow, or sometime next week, the next part of Higurashi When They Cry Ray, and whatever new arc I'm going to be starting with that one, because for the Higurashi side of things, I'm going to be pivoting back to that. So either way, very soon, we're going to be covering some new stuff. And also, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to try to do what I can to get off my lazy ass and finish editing that episode of Lamination International. So that'll show up on the channel at some point soon too. So, yep. So, see you guys in just a bit, or depending on what you're here for, I'll see you all tomorrow, or I'll see you all next week. So, whoever you are, Have a fantastic day or night or evening, and take care, and I'll see you all again sometime soon.